Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are fine and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all our supporters, our anonymous supporters, those who give us super thanks, those who share videos, those who give our videos thumbs up, those who do a lot of other things for this channel to keep pushing forward. You are appreciated, you are loved, you are celebrated, Your Majesties. All right, today, let's talk about something. It's important. Everything is important. Whatever I bring here, Your Majesty, is important. How Kenya, Uganda escaped Israel. I've been saying time without number that that very land that those who call the Israelis are occupying today, those people who were called the Israelis were Europeans, and while they packaged them, all right, they proposed Uganda, Kenya to be the place where they would come and camp them. So if not for some other things and for the work of the Almighty, what is happening today in that part of Palestine would have been happening in the heart of the continent, Your Majesties. Would have been happening in the heart of the continent. They tried their best to pitch it in the continent because they knew that it is in Al-Cable land that the story will fit well. If you understand, you understand. They know that it's in Al-Cable land, in our motherland, that the story will fit in very well because Africa is the Garden of Eden. Africa is where life started. So if they're going to create some people that claim they are people of the Almighty, where would be the best place to put in the people of the Almighty? It would be in the heart of Africa. But all thanks to the Creator, it didn't work that way, but they still tried their best to pitch it close, to pitch it at the northeastern part of the continent. And that is where it is right now. And with this whole war going on, it's not news to you. I was just watching Al Jazeera and tears almost dropped from my eyes seeing these little children who are going through. They're just what is their crime? Now, there is no justification. Whoever you think you are, that you take the life of another, there is no justification, Your Majesties. Remember that. You can't tell me you are the chosen one, you are the Israelites, and you think it's okay to unalive some group of people? Are there no other ways to settle things? Anyway, those who are behind this war are doing their thing. There are things that one cannot see here. But if you understand, you understand. There is a lot more behind this whole Israel-Gaza-Palestine war. There is a lot more. I'm going to show you some clips and we'll take it up from there.
If history had turned left instead of turning right, there would be a mini Israel in parts of Kenya and Uganda. In early 1903, Britain's colonial secretary Joseph Chamberlain met with Theodore Herzl, the founding father of Zionism. In the meeting, Britain offered Zionists massive land in present-day Kenya and Uganda. The land was 7 times the size of Mauritius. It was even bigger than present-day Israel. This African land was to be a Jewish colony or settlement, a safe haven for Jews, essentially a mini-Israel that would be occupied by Jews until the Zionist dream of a homeland in Palestine could be realized. On August 26, 1903, during the 6th Zionist Congress, Theodore Herzl presented this proposal to the delegates. Delegates voted 295 to 178 to send an investigatory commission to check out the territory. They traveled to East Africa and reported their findings 1 year later during the 7th Zionist Congress. The scheme was voted down. If they had voted yes, the very outlook of East Africa would have been radically different today. Evidently, Britain carved out huge parts of Africa, creating national borders at will and whim. The world is still paying the price for this unbridled power.
Right now it's getting really hot on earth, so it's time to tell a story. We're they call Africa, right? Because obviously our ancestors never called the place Africa. Africa is a name that is given by, I think it's the Romans, after one of their general Africanus. There was never any place called Egypt or even Ethiopia. I reckon those are Greek names, you know what I mean? But the story is anyway that our landmass, yeah, was invaded. And the reason for this invasion, like, as they say then, because we are in the black body, what they call the black body, we was actually the first on the planet. The first to understand the laws of the one creative energy. But guess what? We was also the first to break these laws. So for breaking the laws of the one creative energy, we actually fell from the first to the last. So the invasion was part of our fall. So we was taken into slavery and, scattered all over east and west. And we was overrun, like I say, by our brothers from the east, the Arabs, and our brothers from the west, the European. So they conquer all those places. One of those places they call Israel. How many of you know that Israel is actually Northeast Africa? So right now in Israel now, ever since they've been having a long battle, about this part of Africa, they used to call the battle the Crusade. So now you have some people, right, who the Arabs are saying, this is my holy land. And yes, sir. And then you have the European who are fighting and saying, this is my holy land, Israel. But the land, like I tell you, it was, I don't know what the ancestors call it, but it wasn't Israel. And this particular piece of land is actually Northeast Africa. So how crazy is that, right? That you should have two invaders of Africa. Because a lot of people don't even realize that Libya is Africa. Egypt is Africa, Morocco is Africa, Tunisia, few more that I could name. But these people living in these places now don't call themselves Africans. Why? Because the ethnic cleanse all of the Africans that was occupying those lands and take over the land. They know they are not African. Do you think any Arabs, right, would go and dig up their ancestral, the dead that they buried, and give it to the European to put in museum? Of course they would not. But these people know that they are not Africans, so that's why they can enter my home and do such a thing. But because this is the end, you know what I mean? Because as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. Everything is going to be revealed, and these people are going to get destroyed, you know what I mean? This story have to have a part two to it, because now I have seen what I would term a black flag operation going on. So I'll be reasoning on the current black flag situation that is going on in Africa. Rastafari, live it and reign it.
All right, Your Majesties, we heard that. There is, if you watch the video where I talk about the conspiracy, all right, this whole thing, some persons sat down, conspired, planned, like it has been in the system. These people are ruling, like they are the ones in charge of the world. They are the ones who plan what and what should happen. I got a few percent of you who feel it's not true. And this is what they want. What is true, they give you reason why it is not true. What is not true, they push your consciousness to it. And the more you keep diverting your energy and your consciousness, your vibration into the lie, it becomes the truth. And then the truth is lying down somewhere. Because a lot of us are not believing in it. This is how the world works. Almost all we see is a lie. We live in the lie. A lot of things we see, a lot of things that happen around us are not even real. The real thing, they have gradually closed our eyes to the real thing. When I say eye, I mean our inner eye. We don't see anymore. We only see the material. We don't see beyond the material. And the more we keep living in this physical world, there will be living, enjoying all our consciousness, our energies, our vibration, and all our positivity. These are what combine together make us who we are and help us achieve what we should achieve. All right? Because it set us in a pace that our enemy cannot come close to us. They know that the more we keep believing in a lie, the more we will not be able to be productive in anything we do. Now, instead of we using those abilities, they are using subconsciously, using all our abilities. They are becoming great. They are doing great things. When you look at them, you think they are subhuman. They're having superpowers. No, they are tapping from what you have because you have refused to use what you have. Since they have helped in deceiving you into not using what you have been created with. Remember, we are all made in the image and likeness of the Almighty. That is to say, there are things that if we put our minds to it, it's going to work. If we divert our energy, positivity into, it's going to work. But what do? They divert our attention into things that are not important, thereby stealing what is rightfully ours. And this is what they do. They are thieves. Now, what do the devil do? They say the devil comes to steal, to kill, and destroy. They have been moving around the world, stealing, unaliving people, destroying people. And this is exactly what is happening right now in Palestine. They steal lands, they unalive people, they destroy both lives and property. These three things are the attributes of the devil. And we are seeing it right before our eyes. And they want to tell us it's something else. And this is how the supremacist works. Anyway, what do you think? Leave your comment and thought there in the section, Your Majesties. And I will see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others. Stay safe, stay positive, always. Bye for now.